is video.
It is video.
This
Okay.
video.
Yes.
And there we are.
The eye of the photographer is very selective, so choose a better light, Andrea.
She's right. She's correct.
And a horizontal, maybe?
Ok. Allora, buonasera sia chi è in presenza e a chi segue invece questo dialogo in live streaming. Allora, questa sera siamo in Archivio di Stato per un'apertura straordinaria che è collegata ad Archivissima, un festival dedicato agli archivi, quindi una iniziativa che ha Torino come sede sempre principale, ma che quest'anno vede coinvolti un po' archivi di tutta Italia e anche noi siamo parte di questa rete, per cui abbiamo partecipato alla Notte degli Archivi con un'apertura, saremo aperti fino alle 10 di questa sera con la mostra di Dayanita Singh Archivio. Partecipiamo anche appunto con un dialogo che vede partecipi Dayanita Singh, che è l'artista che appunto espone le sue fotografie in Archivio di Stato fino alla fine di agosto, e Andrea Anastasio, il direttore dell'Istituto Italiano di Cultura Delhi, che è il curatore della mostra, quindi una mostra che abbiamo inaugurato ormai da diverso tempo, che sta avendo molto successo e molta partecipazione, aperta tutti i giorni dalle 11 alle 5 del pomeriggio si trova poi nel refettorio d'inverno dell'Archivio di Stato. Ed è una mostra che nasce da una collaborazione tra istituzioni e persone, anche all'interno di relazioni di tipo di amicizia che hanno condotto, diciamo, al successo di questa iniziativa. Ora, questa introduzione era in italiano, dobbiamo passare naturalmente all'inglese perché è la lingua che ci mette tutti insieme, e poi se qualcuno dei presenti ha bisogno di qualche approfondimento ulteriore lo facciamo qui in presenza. So now I switch to English, so Dayanita and Andrea can completely join our discussion. This evening is dedicated to archives all around Italy, and the main theme of the Night of Archives, which is the name of this event, is what is not here. So it's a very complex theme, and I think that an art exhibition made of photographies is very peculiar and explain a good point on this topic, because Dayanita tries in his work to found what is not here and fix it in an image that can last. And this is what archives try to do in their life. They try to fix something in the memory of society and carry this memory through the centuries. So I will start with a question to Dayanita. So what you find, Dayanita, in your 20 years work on archives that you want to fix and that you see and things that people doesn't see? So what is not here that you have seen in archives behind what is their appearance?
Yes, that is the big challenge, to try and photograph not what I see, but what I sense in the archive. The first time I walked into, after many years of waiting for permission, after I walked into the Venice State Archive, and I was in tears. I was deeply moved in a very visceral way. And it was just from walking in that space. So I think all my photography is trying to somehow see if I can share that very deep movement that happens within the archive. Of course, there's the beautiful buildings, the great archivists who need to be celebrated because they are the ones who preserve our past for our future. There is no future without the past. But for me, in the photography, it's been important to try and photograph, as Pamuk would say, maybe the scent of the archive, you know? For me, I would say I wanted to see if I could photograph the spirit of the archive, like spirit like that. Um, and I don't know. It's for you to tell me if I succeed or not. But it's there, 25 years.
Yes, I think you are succeeding, but also the success of the exhibition is supporting us in this opinion. And I think that also in your work, you use the scent of the archives and their real meaning is also something that you see, which is probably unseen by the most of the people, which is that uh, an archive is a story of people, and not only the people which are mentioned in the papers, in the documents, but the people that are taking care of archives. Because if you see in the exhibition, many images are dedicated to people, and most of them are archivists. So the people that works behind the archive to let them be carried to the time. So this is also an important thing that emerged in your work. So you have met a lot of archives in these many years. What you think about the work they do and the way they work, the passion, the moving that you find in these people?
I think all the archivists I've met are very special characters. They're not like everybody else. Like you have often said, they're quite shy and they don't understand why somebody wants to celebrate them or photograph them and then show those pictures. I mean, even when they came to the exhibition, so many of them were so shy to see their pictures, you know. And so I feel they're very, very special individuals. And our society, because we don't see what they do, um, they're faceless. We don't know who these people are that do, even people that live in Venice, that live around this Archivio Stato. They don't know who the archivists are and what an important work that they do. So that was also part of the idea of our exhibition, no? So that people see a part of the archive and through the photographs meet some of the archivists. And my hope is that younger people then also start to realize that, okay, this could be a career, that there is something interesting to be done because, you know, it's not, people don't, are not studying archives in the same way that they did perhaps before.
Yes, there are also many ways to be an archivist because it's a profession that has a lot of faces. You can be the one who reads the ancient writings, or the one
Mm-hmm.
who likes modern databases. But they are all archivists their own way. And we also, archivist is a profession that unifies because everyone comes from a different background. Here,
Mm-hmm.
for example, there are people who are archivists who are historians, others who are philologists, others who are economists. For example,
Mm-hmm.
in the past we had lawyers. So different way to be an archivist because archives are something that regards every one of us. So every one of us has an archive, and the first thing we do when we we born is to create a record for an archive. So basically, it's something extremely natural to create
Yeah.
archives and live inside an archive or have a own archive. So this is why everyone is connected to this important thing. And I want to ask something to Andrea. Andrea, you are the curator of the curator of the exhibition, and how was to work in a space like the one you use for the display of the Dayanita work? Because you know that refectory was for basically 200 years used as a repository, and then in the last 5 years we had an important restoration of the hall with the possibility of use the space not only as a repository but also for conferences and exhibitions. So, and you were the first to come inside and show how that place can take life as an art exhibition venue. So how was working inside this place?
Okay, first of all, good evening, everyone. Well, I had the privilege of visiting the space when it was empty. Not even files were resting on the shelves. And soon after the restoration of the place. So I knew how it was before through the picture that I've been going through and the picture that Dayanita shot when the space was filled with documents and paper and tables and furniture. So I think that was a very important step because I could see in reverse the process that I've been going through while going through Dayanita's many years of photographies. What I mean, and I'm trying to explain that, in an archive, you are surrounded by documents, but you don't see them. I mean, you see the files. You don't see them. You know that they contain stories, documents, people's life, but you don't see it. Now, to think about installing an exhibition that deals with images within a space where you don't actually see, but you get somehow encouraged to see within yourself or with your imagination what is contained in those files. It's a very powerful act. And I think that what has happened when we completed the installment of the pillars with the images is the actual manifestation of that process that has been triggered by bringing images in a space that it's normally meant to contain documents, invisible documents. So in a way, it reinforced the what I would say and what I would call the invisibility of what Dayanita's work addresses. It's a paradox. You are in a space where you are surrounded by files without the chance of seeing what they contain. And then you have pictures, but those pictures, they don't stop at a level of revealing themselves as pictures. They actually activate a much more layered process through which visitors they look at Dayanita's work but somehow it's as if Dayanita works activate the invisibility of those files or what those files contain. So it became very clear to me when we started installing the exhibition that there was something very powerful that we didn't realize until we found ourselves in the space with those pictures that get immediately felt by the viewers when they enter the space. And this is something that I will never forget. You know, you somehow you install an exhibition and you know what you're going to do, but then once it's there, you realize that you activated something you didn't know it was going to happen.
Thank you, Andrea. You said something which is very, very connected to the to archives and what they really are. And I think that this dialogue between archivist and artist and curator has been successful because we have a common sensibility. And I'm referring, for example, to what you said about the fact that you are surrounded by documents that you don't see because you just see the files. And as I told to Dayanita in a previous in our previous meeting, I was surprised that she never asked me to open a document to make to take a pictures of a single document. She just stopped to the external part, to the files, and this is something very similar to what archivists do in their life, because our science aims to reorder a complex of document with the knowing that we can't see and read every document because it's impossible. The quantity of the heritage is avoid to everyone to the possibility of read everything, but this doesn't mean that you can't understand what is written inside. So the possibility that archival science gives us is to understand what a document means even without reading it, just with a glance or a short reading, or even without reading, even sometimes without open the file, just watching it from the outside. This is what makes our way of thinking very similar to what you have said about the feeling inside the space that is hosting the exhibition, and also which is very similar to the eye that Dayanita had on archives, because she never asked to take pictures of a single document. She just has the archival eye, looking the outside and trying to understand something without reading everything, but taking care anyway to the complexity. Okay, managing the complexity with other instrument. The instrument of the artist naturally is connected to this to the feeling and to the eye, and the ability of the archivist is connected to what they have studied about their science. But it's something very, 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 very similar.
I'm curious to hear from Dayanita whether the feeling she experienced after installing the exhibition was like the one I described, or whether she felt exactly something that she thought it was going to happen by installing the exhibition in that space.
Yeah, thanks for asking me that, because you have to be quite naive or foolish to think that you can make your exhibition inside this beautiful, beautiful archive, you know? Like, if you're a clever artist, you wouldn't do anything. You would just open the room to the public and say, just come and experience what I experience in all the archives. But because I had you as a curator, I think I took the risk. Until the time we actually finished the installation, it was a risk. Because you see, once I brought my work in, I didn't want to, I didn't want it to sort of be a whimper in this beautiful building. At the same time, I didn't want to compete with the building. Of course, I can't. It's incredible, right? So I thought till the very end, I was not sure if we would find that balance. And that's where an excellent curator comes in. That is not something an artist can do on their own, much as I often do a lot of my own curation. But this time I already knew I couldn't. And then to have you, and then to see after we installed it that it was perfect. I felt the balance was perfect between the architecture and my pillars, and one didn't dominate the other. And in fact, I think they both really complemented and created another kind of archive. I can't imagine these works not being in that room now, you know. I feel they should stay there forever. Like, because it felt like they had grown out of the ground, like these pillars had just come from the ground. They belong there.
Yeah,
That's
it's true. This is going to be a problem to disinstall that exhibition.
most of people say that it seems that these pillars were always there, and but we will see in Rome, because we can say to everyone that in autumn the exhibition will move with some small adjustment to Rome. So we will, and then we will fly back to India. So we will see the difference of exhibiting this same very exhibition in a different place. So we will experience. Maybe it will be better. I don't know.
Impossible. It's impossible because
It's
these two are,
impossible.
they're just so perfect together. And the
Yeah,
light, the light, the floor, the air, it's all perfect.
I do agree with that. It will be different, and it will be very interesting to see how this exhibition will activate different narratives in another space. This is very exciting, but at the same time, I think deep down we know that what happened there, it's impossible to replicate, because it's really, I think it's the deep connection between the poetical aspect of a work like the work of Dayanita, is that it doesn't reveal what you see in the picture. It doesn't fully reveal what you see in the picture. The magic of the work is that you get completely seduced by the image, and yet there is a space that allows you to enter and to to start a journey that is dynamic. It doesn't end with the picture. And I think that that's the magic of the exhibition at the archive, that somehow all those files, it's as if they get fertilized by Dayanita's images. And I can see viewers entering that space in which every single file could be another exhibition of Dayanita's images. The beauty of this exhibition is that it doesn't have a beginning and an end. It's a dimension which you enter the space and you are within something. You are within a space where there's no beginning, no end. There's an activation of processes that it's continuously back and forth between the viewer and the artwork and the space around you. So I think this is it's a unique experience even for those who are used to install exhibitions or to see one's own work being installed within an exhibition. And I think, I'm saying this also with the awareness of the fact that when we will disinstall the show, I know that we will be all aware of the fact that something unique will not be repeated.
Yes, probably is the sensation that you are watching something in the right context. It's like to see an artwork in the place for which it was created, so you have the complete understanding of what you are seeing. Even if taking something out of context can give other reading, other points of view. So we uh, we can probably see something different in in Rome or in other places. But this is the proper way to see this exhibition, which is not a path. So when you enter the space, you build your own experience, and you find your own way to experience the exhibition, and without any restriction, you can walk and watch the pillars in the order you choose, and every pillars starting from the face that you prefer or that you feel that is fitting for you now in that time. Even this experience is something similar to the archival research, because you know the entrance door, but you don't know when it can lead you to jumping from a document to another. So you find your special way to have an experience, to understand what we propose to the people. So it's something that is completely building and rebuilding. So even for us, when we work inside the refectory every day, because we work here, so we have the privilege to see the exhibition when we want, as many times a day we want. The exhibition shows something different every time, because even we are different, and also the path that you lead, that you follow, is different, and we can also come from the upside, for example. So we have all point of view to see something different every time.
Wow.
Something which is every time evolving. So I think that when you will come back to Venice, you will see the exhibition in its evolution, because nothing has changed, but everything has changed. Because a lot of people has come here, so you will find you will find another scent probably, because it changes
That's
with
such a
people.
beautiful compliment, especially for someone who works with photography. But it was also important for me to create these structures so that you couldn't see it in one go. that you would have to experience it by walking around it, that your body would be involved and it wouldn't just be with your eyes. And I make lots of different architectures for my photographs, but Andrea absolutely was very clear that we would only show the pillars here. And it just works incredibly with the pillars in your archive. So it's the architecture of the refractory, but also the architecture of the pillars and the way they've been installed, that it's true, you can make your a different path each time you come.
Yes, and you know, behind every knowledge and behind any pleasure and good experience, there is an effort. So you have to walk, you have to
Exactly. This is
move.
important.
So
Yeah.
we see people moving in the space. So you know, it's the fee that you have to pay to be happy at the end.
Exactly. I used to watch people coming into the exhibition, sitting at the table, and there was just one man who walked in and walked out. But everybody else would just somehow, it became like a maze, that they got sucked into. And like you said, what happens in an archive? You know where the entry door is, but you don't know where or when
Where
you
you
will
will
exit.
go and if
Yeah.
you will exit.
Well,
As we already discussed.
talking about this, I would like to add one thing, is that another gift of this space is that it has two levels. There is an upper
Yes.
level where you cannot walk, but it's visible. And I think that having had the chance of placing those bundles of red colored bundles in the upper floor has somehow has generated even a further mechanism. There is a depth, and there is also a space which resonates even if we cannot walk through that. And I think this is really it's a plus that we were not expecting, and that made also us to understand the difference between the pillars with images and the frames and the pillars with bundles. To the point that something that has to be said now for viewers and listeners is that it's true that the exhibition will travel to Rome, but it will travel in a special way because only the images will travel to Rome. The colored bundles will not travel with those images, and they will go to Mao Museum in Torino, where they will be displayed together with amazing sculptures from Gandhara and from the continent, the Indian continent. So it's something that needs to be said because it addresses the relation between the artwork and the space where the artwork is exhibited. We are not into white boxes, and this is what really makes these exhibitions special, because I think if Dayanita's work would be a closed work, it wouldn't set into spaces the way it does, the way it does. So it's as if through engaging in the display of the work in the space, that dimension that is not kept, it is not defined by the image, get miraculously activated.
Yes.
and it's something that I think it's deeply linked to the theme of this night, the what is not there. And I love the fact that Dayanita's work is very much about what is not there. It's because her images are not closed images, they are open, and they're like those files that we see by entering the space. They are potentially endless.
Yes. Thank you, Andrea. It's very, very important what you said. To be open is the aim of our work, because archives are sometimes seen as a closed space, but we take care of documents for centuries, because everyone, even people which is not here now, and which is even not born now, they has to be able to come here and study with new perspective. So also the archival document is discovered and rediscovered many times during its history, because people forget it, because people read it with a new perspective, with a new knowledge. So there is nothing closed here. The pictures of Dayanita are open because they evolve, and they show you what is not there, and everyone can, with his own eyes, see what they can display. But also archives are like this. So documents are something which are always open. They tell you something, but if you read it in different time of your life, you will find something different. You can only imagine what will happen when 10 generations from now we read it again, and we will discover something new every time that a new eyes come on that underwriting. So it's something which is alive, but basically something open, which is the main topic of archive, and the thing that makes archive important for the future.
I'm very happy when I see all the older ladies who live in the neighborhood and they come, and it's a very moving experience again, because the work becomes incidental. They're just so moved, Andrea, to be able to enter the gates that they've walked past and never been able to go inside. Then they see the courtyard. And sometimes I have the feeling some of them just don't want to leave. They sit outside, they try to enter the courtyard, then the docents say, you mustn't go in. Then they come back to the exhibition, they bring their neighbors. It's,
Yeah, there are people coming, not every day, but more or less.
yeah,
Well,
that's lovely.
quite a privilege.
Yes.
Huge privilege to be showing the work in the room where I made the work. How often does that happen? And the privilege of being invited by Andrea Arboso, because without that, none of this would have happened.
A lot of people will be sad when when the exhibition will close, because it's is a sort of experience for our neighborhood, for our world of archivists, for our archive and people living here, and also for the visitors comes from all around the world to Venice, that comes here and finds something which is different from the chaos of the city. It's a quiet place when you can take your time to think about
Yeah.
what the exhibition proposed to you, which is just a sparkle to start to think about archives, memories, and also the dimension of the knowledge. So it's something very, it's connected to the nature of this place, which is a place of silence and of reflection, that is made for enhance the thinking, the thought of people. So this is the place where the exhibition can be also empowered. And we see that people enjoy the possibility of take half an hour to come here every day and watch the exhibition, and also stay here, just focus on a single image or a single
Yeah.
pillar, or even just a site of the complex. So it's very interesting experience. And we hope to do something like this in the future. But as you have said, probably this incredible union between the space and the artwork is something that is not possible to have again in this such beautiful way.
But there are many artists who work with archives, and maybe some of those would be able to also make a connection.
Yes, there
I'm
are a
sure
lot of good
everybody will be
artists, but
running after you now to try and make an exhibition there.
who will know? We will see in the future. So
Or we find a room in the archive and I just leave all these pillars there.
it would be great, but we are so big, but we don't have so much space.
Exactly. And you're just 20 people running the whole archive?
30.
30. And of the 30 people, how many are archivists?
14.
So it's a very small number for such a large archive, no?
Yeah.
Incredible. We should have special award ceremonies for each one of them.
Of them.
It's an hard work, but we love it. So thank you for being here in this dialogue. I know it's quite late in New Delhi. Probably it's
11:45.
okay. So
Not so bad.
not so bad, but not so
but
easy
it's at
like
the end of it,
here in Italy.
Working day.
The evening has just started, and the night of archives has just started.
Wow.
We will go on for other few hours. So thank you very much for being here in this dialogue, in live streaming, and see you in Venice next
Next
week.
week. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Lovely.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And all the best for tonight.
Yes, I wish I was there.